Imagine standing in the shadows outside the Kenton United Synagogue in northwest London late at night as firebombs explode and flames devour the historic walls while sirens wail loudly. What if everything the mainstream media and European governments have told you about these attacks is a carefully crafted lie designed to mislead the public completely? Welcome to Beyond Headlines, where we expose the shadows behind the headlines and reveal the hidden truths that challenge everything you thought you knew about these events. The anti-Semitism surge across Europe in 2024 and 2025 created a dangerous slow burn as the Community Security Trust recorded 3,700 incidents in Britain, the second highest ever. Berlin saw a record 2,267 anti-Semitic crimes, while France experienced a violent uptick, per the ADL-J7 report, amid rising tensions. Officials downplayed these incidents as mere protest spillover, even as hidden Iranian networks activated proxies like the Foxtrot gang recruiting minors throughout 2024 and 2025. The February 28, 2026 Iran war acted as the deadly spark, with Europol issuing urgent warnings of heightened threat levels across the entire continent immediately. HAYI suddenly emerged on March 9, 2026, claiming responsibility for the Liège synagogue IED attack, with its logo tied directly to Asaib al-Haq channels linked to IRGC Quds Force. Expert Philip Smith called it an Iran-crafted front group, planted to serve as a state-sponsored proxy for these coordinated operations in Europe right now. The first wave of attacks hit with remarkable precision, including Liège on March 9th, Rotterdam Synagogue on March 13th, Amsterdam Jewish School on March 14th, and London Hatzola ambulances on March 23rd. HAYI released rapid video claims disseminated via Iraqi Shia militia networks with no prior online footprint before March, suggesting a pre-planned cutout for plausible deniability. Every attack followed the same casualty-free pattern of arson, small explosions, and low lethality strikes to maximize fear without triggering full-scale retaliation from authorities. 2025 baseline statistics from UK CST, German BKA, and Italian authorities showed sustained high levels of incidents even after the Gaza war supposedly ended in October. Then the 2026 post-war surge brought over 17 HAYI claims, including stabbings and foiled plots targeting Jewish sites across the continent. Is this mere coincidence, or the next phase of a hybrid war that was scripted years in advance by hidden forces operating in the shadows? CNN investigation provides the smoking gun the public was never meant to see, linking HAYI to Iran-backed Shia paramilitaries with clear evidence of direct connections. Social media recruitment of teens and criminals happens through Telegram channels posing as Iranian intelligence, with offers for surveillance jobs that escalate into violence. ICCT reports on the digital footprint and Wall Street Journal coverage of bogus group creation confirm the tactics used for plausible deniability in this hybrid warfare campaign. Iranian operatives use English and Hebrew channels to target European youth with cash offers for surveillance jobs that quickly turn into arson and violence acts. The Guardian reported criminal intermediaries acting as low-paid disposable proxies for these operations to keep the real masters hidden from public view entirely. This is not random rage, as the public has been told, but engineered chaos to test European responses and sow deep societal division everywhere. ADL and counter-extremist experts confirm that HAYI operational model mirrors the IRGC decade-long playbook in Europe, with similar proxy tactics used repeatedly. Hidden agendas suggest deeper coordination beyond mere revenge for the Iran war, with bigger players pulling the strings behind the scenes in this campaign. This is only the surface of what is really happening here, and what they are hiding goes far darker than anyone has been willing to admit publicly. European governments and mainstream media outlets have framed HAYI publicly as nothing more than a mysterious new shadowy group suddenly emerging across Europe this year. At the same time, police documents and MI5 statements reveal ongoing quiet investigations into direct ties with Iranian IRGC proxies operating in multiple countries. This creates a sinister cover-up as authorities arrest young teenagers for the crimes but carefully downplay any Iran connections to hide their own intelligence failures after 2025 warnings. One must now question whether HAYI is purely an Iranian proxy group or merely a convenient cutout serving a much larger adversarial axis of powers. The Southland Center has warned that such hybrid threats mirror Russian tactics, with possible amplification from Russia and China using sophisticated disinformation campaigns across platforms. ICCT expert Julian Lanches points out that the attack's timing aligns perfectly with Iran war retaliation, yet the patterns indicate pre-positioned networks dating back to 2024. CNN undercover findings exposed the sinister recruitment pipeline on social media, where channels advertised high-pay agent positions targeting European youth in plain sight. Vulnerable individuals face anti-Semitic grooming disguised cleverly as anti-Zionist activism to draw them into surveillance and potential violence operations. Shockingly, some of these operatives link back to criminal networks already sanctioned by the US Treasury for Iran-related work conducted throughout 2025. They told the public these were spontaneous anti-Semitic outbursts fueled purely by Gaza events, but the comprehensive data proves a very different coordinated reality. This is in fact a state-directed campaign that uses the existing 2024 and 2025 anti-Semitism surge as perfect cover and camouflage. The United Kingdom leads per capita in assaults, while Berlin sets new record levels, showing the soil had been deliberately pre-fertilized for this exact escalation. Darker conspiracy theories suggest false flag elements, since the low lethality pattern appears calculated to generate maximum terror without causing widespread mass casualties. This raises questions about possible Mossad awareness or covert operations intended to justify further escalation measures across the European security landscape. What if the real masters want a fractured Europe, with Jewish communities fleeing in fear to serve their larger agenda of control and division? Experts from the ADL, CST, and Combat Antisemitism movement highlight how 2025's record highs transition seamlessly into the intense 2026 HAYI wave. Iranian embassies and their proxies remained under monitoring by European intelligence services since 2024, yet the attack still occurred without effective prevention. This situation implies either serious intelligence failures or deliberate blind eyes turned by authorities holding positions of significant power throughout the continent. When mapping HAYI claims precisely against Iran war milestones, the predictive precision becomes truly chilling, with many attacks launched within days of major strikes. These timelines connect to broader developments in the past 12 to 18 months, including major university anti-Semitism spikes documented in the B'nai B'rith report. Eurobarometer data also reveals dramatic perception shifts across Europe, creating the perfect storm conditions for this coordinated campaign of escalation and fear. This is not isolated terrorism, as the authorities repeatedly tell the public, but something far more dangerous and deliberate in its design and execution. It represents only the visible tip of a massive hybrid warfare iceberg designed to destabilize the West from within its own societies and institutions. The proof lies in the patterns that powerful interests do not want you to connect or examine too closely at this critical moment in time. Shocking revelations now surface regarding potential government and media collusion that framed these attacks initially as lone actor incidents, despite clear HAYI claims and Iranian links reported by WSJ and CNN. This collusion extended further by burying the Akureyt incident beneath widespread concerns about Islamophobia, while anti-Semitism itself became increasingly normalized across European societies. The result allowed officials to downplay state sponsorship entirely and present the violence as organic hate rather than the coordinated campaign that independent evidence clearly demonstrates it to be. European intelligence agencies, including Europol and UK counter-terror units, issued explicit warnings about Iranian retaliation throughout 2025, yet failed completely to prevent the March 2026 wave. This stunning failure suggests either profound incompetence at the highest levels or hidden agendas connected to energy deals and the desire to avoid dangerous escalation with Tehran. Authorities prioritized diplomatic relations and economic interests over public safety, leaving Jewish communities exposed while the hybrid warfare operation unfolded exactly as predicted by experts. Hidden proof emerges through careful data synthesis that cross-references 2025 incident maps showing United Kingdom residential attacks rising 15% with ideological discourse in 53% of cases. These patterns match HAYI targeting of synagogues, ambulances, and schools with eerie precision, revealing a detailed blueprint for much larger operations already in motion across the continent. This synthesis demonstrates beyond doubt that the current attacks represent only the testing phase of a sophisticated plan designed for maximum destabilization of Western societies. A major coordinated spectacular attack now appears inevitable in late June or early July 2026, involving multi-city drone and IED waves on Jewish sites in the UK, France, and Germany. Such an operation would cause mass casualties and follows the terror hatching accuracies, high escalation patterns, recruitment scale, and established IGC doctrine of testing then striking hard. This event represents the climax of hybrid war designed to force Western capitulation or ignite wider regional conflict with consequences that could reshape Europe forever. Timelines provide the hidden proof only independent investigation reveals, starting with post-February war preparations, followed by the March testing phase and April-May stabbings as proof of concept. Expert warnings from the Sofan Center and ICCT on expanding hybrid threats confirm these patterns with chilling precision that official narratives continue to ignore at great peril. The full 18-month synthesis leaves no room for doubt about the orchestrated nature of this campaign and the predictable horror that lies directly ahead. The ultimate agenda appears to be a manufactured crisis engineered to justify clackdowns on free speech, mass surveillance, and even engineered migration or war to reshape global power balances. Iran serves merely as a pawn in the larger Russia-China-West proxy game, where real masters exploit fear to consolidate control over populations and narratives. They have told you repeatedly that this is organic hate born from legitimate grievances, but we are showing you it is scripted terror executed with cold precision. If this investigation chills you to the core, then hit subscribe right now, share this report with everyone you know, and demand full transparency from those in power immediately. Question every official story you hear, because the patterns we have exposed prove the public has been deliberately misled about the true forces at work here. The next attack could be the one they cannot hide or spin, and only an informed public stands any chance of forcing accountability before it is too late.
Hidden proof emerges through careful data synthesis that cross-references 2025 incident maps showing United Kingdom residential attacks rising 15% with ideological discourse in 53% of cases. These patterns match HAYI targeting of synagogues, ambulances, and schools with eerie precision, revealing a detailed blueprint for much larger operations already in motion across the continent. This synthesis demonstrates beyond doubt that the current attacks represent only the testing phase of a sophisticated plan designed for maximum destabilization of Western societies.